NTE's new boy Chaos is here, the crime-building, warrant-wanting, massive Remora nuking, fresh fit on-field main DPS has finally arrived. What is going on, guys? It's Josh. Welcome back. Today we're tackling everything you need to know about Chaos as quickly as possible right after this. Do you need that precious annulith or extra resources to pull right now? Well, we've got the power-up you need. Head to U7Buy, your ultimate gaming hub for safe, fast, and cheap in-game top-ups as well as recharges. From Neverness to Everness to all your favorite titles, we've got you covered. Check the reviews for U7Buy on Trustpilot. They have an enormously high rank. U7Buy's Neverness to Everness direct top-up page lets you recharge instantly at a fraction of the cost elsewhere. If you take a look at the official in-store prices and compare them to what you can find on U7Buy, you can find things at a much cheaper value, going from so expensive to way cheap all at the same time. Plus, with U7Buy, not only are you going to get these discount, but they'll also deliver it in seconds. And while you're over there, make sure you use my code Josh at checkout for an extra discount off of everything else. This is going to be perfect for last minute pulls, monthly passes, or even surprising a fellow friend. 100% secure payments, instant delivery, and thousands of happy players. Bring the power of purchasing back to you. Click the link in the description and visit U7Buy, recharge fast, save more, and keep exploring the ever-changing city of Neverness to Everness. Chaos is pretty straightforward to play once you're understanding his two core mechanics: Crime for empowering his heavy attacks, and Warrant for that juicy damage bonuses. So let's break this down so you know everything about Chaos's kit. His basic attack, Pursuit, is a 5-hit combo that deals Lakshana damage and builds Crime. Once you have Crime built up, you can hold the basic attack for Final Verdict. If Crime is at maximum, it will consume everything for a powerful second hit that deals heavy settlement-based damage. His skill, Double Mark, fires at enemies and summons his hounds to bite 2 times. It'll apply Warrant up to 2 enemies for 15 seconds, and Warrant is going to make the enemies take 20% more damage, up to an additional 30% once you get his passive unlocked. It's core to his kit and is super important to keep up on your targets. His ultimate, Retribution, summons his hound to suppress enemies, applying Warrant to everything in range, and will put him into the Dread Echo state. In this state, Crime builds extremely fast, letting you spam even more empowered Final Verdicts for big burst damage. His key passive, Justice in Time, is his Remora enhancement. It's what makes him shine in teams. When Remora ends, he deals massive Lakshana damage equal to 800% of his attack, up to 300% more based on how long Remora has lasted beyond the initial base 5 seconds. This is a big nuke. The longer it lasts, the harder it hits. And he has another passive that we talked about that boosts his Warrant damage up to 30%. His playstyle summary is pretty basic. You want to stay on field, use his skill to apply Warrant, build Crimes with basics, and pop the ultimate when available for big burst windows where you spam empowered heavy attacks. And once again, his real big burst damage comes on top of this by enabling teams focused around building long Remora durations. But more on that when we get to team building. For builds, let's start with the Arc. Chaos's signature Arc, What's Desired, is going to be his best in slot. It gives 20% Lakshana damage bonus and 40% crit damage for 20 seconds whenever you use a redirected skill or ultimate, which is going to be basically permanently up in his rotation. Other alternatives, if you're a battle pass buyer, you can look at the Fluff of Furiosity, which is excellent crit rate synergy, as it's going to give you attack and crit damage to go with the massive amount of crit rate you're going to be able to stack into your build for Chaos. If you're looking for an extremely free-to-play option but still want to use a 5-star Arc, the Camilla Society is going to give you crit rate and has decently high base attack, being a 5-star Arc. It is basically just a crit rate stat stick. You won't really be able to utilize the passive that much, but it is still an option for you. Another solid option is A Time Will Come. It's a solid early and mid-game pick for free-to-play players, especially if you don't have Camilla Society or it's used on another character, you don't buy the Battle Pass, and you're not pulling for Chaos's signature Arc. For cartridges, this is an easy one. Street Boxer is going to give you 10% Lakshana damage bonus and wraps up to 28% total crit rate, especially strong in these Remora and Stain triggering teams that Chaos is going to want to be in. Pair it with his Type 3 specialization console rate for big crit damage for every Type 3 module you can fit inside of the console. For main stats, look for Lakshana damage, or if you need additional crit rate, look for it here as well. Substats, aim for crit rate and crit damage damage, and then universal damage as well as attack. If you can get to 70% crit rate, 160% crit damage, you're looking pretty good as far as those substats go. And when filling out your modules, make sure you can stack as many type 3 pieces in there as possible. This will give you even more damage as his specialization is for type 3. Chaos loves teams that can help extend Remora durations and trigger reactions like Stain as well as Charge. One of his best teams is also a very free-to-play friendly team. This is going to be Chaos as well as Hathor, Zero the main character, as well as Haniel. Hathor is extremely important here as not only does she do pretty substantial burst damage while not demanding that much on-field time, she also is going to extend Remora to 12 seconds with her own enhanced Remora passive. This is going to give Chaos a giant damage bonus on his own enhanced Remora passive. In addition to that, it's also going to give crit rate to everyone in your team. Zero the main character is substantial for increasing your uptime on Remora triggers. Zero's skill in Praise and Engrave is, well, just kind of broken when it comes to characters who want to do cycle reactions continuously. And Chaos is yet just another character that works extremely well with the Zero MC. Haniel is here to provide solid off-field damage with her own Hootie buffs, giving your team attack and crit damage buffs, and also here as well to help trigger Stain for 20% or more increase in your Lakshana damage characters. A simple sample rotation for this kind of team where you want to drop big Remora bombs. You start with Hathor, use her redirect skill, put it on cooldown, swap to the Zero main character, trigger Remora with their skill, possibly pop off their ultimate, swap to Haniel, use their redirect skill as well as their ultimate, and then finally swap to Chaos to trigger Stain, use your skill to apply Warrant, pop your ultimate to enter the Dread Echo state so you can fill your crime gauge even faster and jump those heavy attacks into all of your enemies. And you finally swap back to Hathor, use her ultimate, enhance skills, and then repeat the entire cycle all over again. This setup's going to give you multiple big Remora nukes per rotation, while also making sure that you have your Warrant and Stain amps active. When it comes to awakenings, there's 3 big ones to take a look at. His A1 gives you extra crime generation on Warrant targets, which is a huge quality of life in increasing how many enhanced heavy attacks you can slam into your enemies. A2 is simply a pretty substantial DPS buff, as it's going to allow you to ignore 20% of enemies' defenses if they have Warrant applied to them. And then A3 is a nice damage buff as well, giving you 30% crit damage after your ultimate, which is great for your burst window. As far as talent priorities go, there's not really anything you should or could be skipping, as he's a main on-field damage dealing DPS, so you need to enhance his basic attacks, his skill, as well as his ultimate ability. If you want to skimp out on something, look to skimp out on the support skill and level that one last. Quick final tips, make sure you keep that Warrant uptime high. If you're DPSing something down and your skill's available, reapply it. He pairs amazingly well with Lakshana characters, and he might even get stronger in the future as we get additional Lakshana and Psyche support characters. He is very strong even without perfect investment, and his best team is a very free-to-play viable team. So that's the quick guide on Chaos. Make sure you drop a like. It helps out the algorithm a ton. God bless, stay safe out there, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.